Today's thought is worrying is the misuse of imagination. Good morning, students. Welcome back. I hope all of you are safe and fit at home, studying well, and completing your work on time. This video is for the students of class 8th, subject English. And today in this video, we are going to cover one topic of our PC Ren's grammar book. This is my chapter number 13. The name of the chapter is Active and Passive Voice. This is my lecture number 3 of the same chapter. This chapter is taken from PC Ren's grammar book. Students, today in this video we are going to learn or we shall learn the rules of changing active from passive voice when the sentences are in interrogative imperative form or if double objects are there. After then we shall discuss the homework solution of the homework which was assigned you in lecture number 2 of chapter 13, that is active and passive voice. Students, there are certain points to remember or there are certain rules to be remembered. So let's see what are the points to be remembered. Number 1. If the sentence it is in future continuous or present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous or future perfect continuous tenses, then there will be no passive of those sentences. To clarify it, let's see some example. Active voice. She has been eating a mango. So as you can see that she is subject here, has been eating. So this is the present perfect continuous tense and a mango is object here. So according to rule, if the sentence it is in present perfect continuous, then there will be no passive. So the answer of this sentence is no passive. Number 2 rule is we usually omit the by preposition if we don't know the doer or if it is not necessary to mention the doer. Fine. So as I have already explained you, if vase subjects are there, for example, if somebody is there, anybody, nobody, anyone, no one, people, the audience, if these kinds of vague subjects are there in the sentence, then no need to write down the subject as an object in the passive voice. At that time we omit by preposition also. To clarify it, let's see some examples. Active voice, the class elected him monitor. So as per the rule, when we will change the same sentence in the passive voice, the sentence will be him will converted into he, that is he, and elected. This is the second form of the verb. It means that this is the past simple tense. So according to rule, second form of the verb will be converted into was verb plus third form of the verb. So he is singular, that's why we will write down was here. He was elected monitor. No need to write down by the class because it is understood and it is not necessary to mention. Let's see one more example. Somebody has stolen my purse. So when we will change the same sentence in the passive voice, then the sentence will be my purse. It is singular, that's why we will write down has been stolen. No need to write down somebody because it is already understood. So now let's see the third point. The object or subject may be a long phrase instead of a single word. In that case, the whole phrase will change. Means, if object or subject is having a long phrase, at that time, the whole phrase will change. To clarify it, let's see some example. Active voice. The storm uprooted a large number of trees and poles. As you can see that here a large number of trees and poles. It is a long phrase and it is an object here. So we will change the whole phrase. So the passive of the same sentence will be a large number of trees and poles were. So as you can see that trees and poles both are in plural in form, that's why we have written here were. And uprooted it is second form of the verb, that's why when past simple is there, at that time we use was were plus third form of the verb. So the third form of uproot is uprooted by the storm. Let's see number fourth point or rule. The verb in active voice should have an object. Otherwise, the sentence cannot be changed into passive voice. To clarify it, let's see some example. Active voice. The baby cried softly. As we can see that there is no object in this sentence. Softly, it is an adjective. The baby is subject here and cried, it is a verb here and it is a second form of the verb. So, the passive form cried here is an intransitive verb with no object. So such a sentence with no object cannot be converted into passive voice or voice form. Now let's see the fifth point. When there are two objects, means double objects in a sentence, in that case either of the objects becomes subject in passive and the other object is retained as object. Means if two objects are there in the same sentence, then one object will become subject and another object will remain as an object in the sentence. To clarify it, let's see some example. Active voice. She recited me a poem. So as we can see that she is here subject who is doing an action, or we can say a doer. Recited, it is a verb and it is second form of the verb. If second form of the verb is there in the sentence, it means that that is past simple tense. And the rule of changing past simple tense in passive voice is was verb plus third form of the verb. Me a poem. So as we can see that there are two objects in the same sentence. So if two objects are there in the same sentence, then the passive of the same sentence will be in two types. Number one is I was recited a poem by her. Or we can write down a poem was recited to me by her. So there are two ways to changing passive voice if there are two objects, as I have explained you in the example. Now let's see point number 6 or rule number 6. If active verbs are followed by a preposition, retain the preposition even on changing into passive voice. Means we have to keep the preposition as it is. To clarify it, let's see some examples. Active voice. All his friends laughed at me. So as you can see that here at is preposition. So now let's see how this same sentence will converted into passive voice. He was laughed at by all his friends. Let's see another example. Active voice. You should take care of your health. When we will change the same sentence in passive voice, the sentence will be your health should be taken care of by you. So when the prepositions are there in active voice, or if the active verbs are followed by a preposition, so you have to retain the preposition even on changing into passive voice. Now let's see number 7th rule or 7th point. When interrogative sentences are changed into passive voice, they retain their interrogative forms. Means when the sentences in the active voice are in interrogative form, then the passive voice will also be in interrogative form. To clarify it, let's see some examples. Active voice. Who taught you French? So here, when we will change the same sentence in passive voice, who will convert it into by whom? And after WH family, we will write auxiliary verb. After then, subject will become object and object will become subject. So the sentence will be by whom were you taught French, and at last question mark. Let's see more examples to clarify it. Why did your brother write such a letter? When we will change the same sentence in passive voice, the sentence will be why was such a letter written by your brother? At last question mark. Now let's see the another example. Can you cross this wall? When we will change the same sentence in passive voice, the sentence will be, can this wall be crossed by you? So keep one thing in your mind, when your sentences are starting with WH family or can and it is in interrogative form, then the WH family and modal verb will remain same, and just after the WH family or modal verb we will write down auxiliary verb, and after then the subject will become object and object will become subject. Let's see the another example. Do you speak the truth? So as you can see that do is here, so it is present simple tense. So when present simple tense is there, what is the rule? So we will add is mr plus third form of the verb. So the sentence in the passive voice will be, is the truth spoken by you? Now let's see the eighth rule or eighth point. Imperative sentences means when the active voice in imperative sentences, at that time how we have to change. Use let while changing from active to passive in the following manner. Let plus object plus be plus past participle. To clarify it, let's see some examples. Active voice, open the door. So as the sentence it is an imperative form, so the passive of the same sentence will be, let the door be opened. The imperative sentences can also be changed to passive voice as we know that in the imperative sentences we give advice, to take advice, or we give order, request, permit, command, warn, etc. So let's see how we will change it into passive voice. To clarify it, let's see some examples. Active voice, open the door. So as I have already explained you the same sentence by adding let. So now let's see how this sentence will change in passive voice in another way. You are requested to open the door. Let's see some more examples to clarify it. Active voice. Don't touch it. As we can see that it is here object. So now let's see how it will change into passive voice. Let it not be touched. Or we can write, you are warned not to touch it. Active voice. Work hard. As we can see that there is no object in this sentence. So how the sentence will change into passive voice? Let's see. You are advised to work hard. So when in the imperative sentence there is no object, at that time we will not make the passive with let. We will make it with you are advised, you are ordered, you are command, like this. Let's see point number 9 or rule number 9. Auxiliary or modal verbs are changing from active to passive in the following manner. Means if there is modal in the sentence, then the formation of changing active to passive is object plus auxiliary or modal verb plus be plus past participle plus subject. To clarify it, let's see some example. Active voice. One should keep one's promises. So the passive of the same sentence will be promises should be kept. So here we will omit the subject one. So as I have already explained you, if the doer it is already known, or if it is not necessary to mention, at that time we will omit by or the subject. Number second example, circumstances will oblige me to go. So here the passive of the same sentence will be I shall be obliged to go. So here we will omit the circumstances subject. Now let's see how to change passive voice to active voice. Passive voice, a rat was killed by a cat. So as you can see that a rat was killed. So here the verb was killed is here and it is past simple tense. And what is the rule? When past simple tense is there, at that time second form of the verb is used. And here now we will, when we will make it into active voice, the by will omit and subject will become object and object will become subject. So now let's see the active of the same sentence. A cat killed a rat. So now let's see the another example. Passive voice, my pocket has been picked. So here the verb is has been picked. So as we can see that it is present perfect tense, and the rule of present perfect is has or have plus third form of the verb, and subject will become object and object will become subject. So as here you can see that subject is omitted. So now it's up to you, you can write down any subject. So the active of the same sentence is someone has picked my pocket. So this is the way that you can change passive to active voice. Students, you have to complete your homework on the basis of the chapter or topic explained by me. And your homework is revise chapter 13, that is active and passive voice, from the book or video, and based on the understanding of the topic or chapter, do exercises mentioned in PC Rin's grammar book as page number 70, exercise number 3, 4, 5 and 6. Students, you have to complete your exercises in your book only. If you don't have your book, in that case you have to do in your English Fair notebook. Still many students are not having their PC Rens grammar book with them. So here in this video I have mentioned your homework in detail. So now let's see exercise number 3. Change the following sentences so that the verbs is in the passive voice. Number 1, they asked me my name. Number 2, we refused them admission. Number 3, you cannot pump the ocean dry. Number 4, they found him guilty of murder. Number 5, a thunderstorm often turns milk sour. Number 6, they saw the storm approaching. Now let's see exercise number 4. Rewrite the following sentences so that the verbs are in the active voice. Number 1. Not a word was spoken by Latif. Number 2. He was taken to the hospital by his friends. Number 3. I was struck by his singular appearance. Number 4. We shall be blamed by everyone. Number 5. Alice was not much surprised at this. Number 6. He will be greatly surprised if he is chosen. Let's see exercise number 5. Write 3 sentences with the verbs in the active voice and rewrite them with the verbs in the passive voice. Now let's see the last exercise, which is exercise number 6. In the following sentences, change the voice. Number 1. We elected Balu captain. Number 2. I saw him opening the box. Number 3. We must listen to his words. Number 4. By whom was this jug broken? Number 5. Shall I ever forget those happy days? Now we shall discuss the homework solution of the homework which was assigned you in lecture number 2 of chapter 13, that is active and passive voice. Students, we have already discussed the rules of changing active from passive voice with the help of tense table in our previous video, as I assigned you homework which was to be done by you on the basis of your understanding. And your homework was revise chapter 13, that is active and passive voice, from the book or video, and based on the understanding of the topic, do exercises mentioned in PC Ren's grammar book as page number 68, exercise number 1. Page number 68 and 69, exercise number 2. Now let's solve the exercises in detail. Now let's see exercise number 1. Name the verbs in the following sentences and tell whether they are in the active or in the passive voice. Number 1. I see a dark cloud. Answer is C. It is active voice. or the verb is C, it is active voice. Number 2, his command was promptly obeyed. Answer, verb is was obeyed and it is passive voice. Number 3, some of the cargo has been damaged by the sea water. Answer, verb is had been damaged and it is passive voice. Number 4, nothing will be gained by hurry. Answer is verb will be gained and it is passive voice. Number 5, a stone struck me on the head. Answer, the verb is stuck and it is passive voice. Number 6, this letter was posted last night. Answer, the verb is was posted and it is passive voice. Number 7, the fridge has been repaired. Answer, the verb is has been repaired and it is passive voice. Number 8, the old gentleman takes snuff. Answer, verb is takes and it is active voice. Number 9, the money was lost. Answer, verb is was lost and it is passive voice. Number 10, the letter has just been posted. Answer, verb is has been posted and it is passive voice. Now let's see exercise number 2 in detail. Change the following sentences from the active voice to the passive voice. Number 1, the cat killed the mouse. Answer is, the mouse was killed by the cat. Number 2, the man cut down the tree. Answer is, the tree was cut down by the man. Number 3, his teacher praised him. Answer is, he was praised by his teacher. Number 4, they have videoed the program. Answer is, the program has been videoed by them. Number 5, Rama was making a kite. Answer is, a kite was being made by Rama. Number 6, my father will write a letter. Answer is, a letter will be written by my father. Number 7 is, I will conquer him. Answer is, he will be conquered by me. Number 8, he kept me waiting. Answer is, I was kept waiting by him. Number 9, Saurav threw the ball. Answer is, the ball was thrown by Saurav. Number 10, he scored 20 runs. Answer is, 20 runs were scored by him. So, this is the end of the lecture. Students, if you like our videos, then hit on the like button and don't forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you and have a nice day.